This is a re-recording of the Acquisio User Summit presentation on web presence management. The topics were discussed around SEO and PPC data, and obviously the combination of the two would make better bid decisions when bidding on PPC. We also discussed search engine algorithm changes and SEO metrics. My name is Chris Adams. I'm the co-founder and Chief Technology Officer of gShift Labs. You can follow us at gShift Labs or myself at Chris H. Adams. The hashtags for the summit primarily were ACQ Summit. You can search on the Twitter feeds from that and learn exactly what else was discussed. Web presence optimization was discussed to people that were primarily interested in search marketing. We're just talking about the evolution of SEO in terms of SEO has this stigma that it's always this attached to the website, where at gShift Labs we're presenting more of a case around web presence optimization, which takes into effect what we're seeing as a trend, which is fresh content being produced, such as press releases and blog posts, updates to your website with events. And we have this new change, obviously, that's been occurring since 2008, but really picking up lately, which is the social or business's social use. All of these things get indexed in Google and they add up into your web presence. So when something's ranking in the top 10, such as your blog post, your web page, and let's say your Facebook page, we call that web presence. Getting into it, what was primarily exciting at the summit was the idea of using SEO organic search ranking data to make better PPC bid decisions. So if you were ranking #1 for a keyword phrase and your system knew that, you may want to lower your bid by 10 or 15%. If your keyword phrase was not on the first page of Google, for example, you may want to increase your bid by 10 to 20%. The other cool part is that you can look at competitor ranking data, such as if you didn't like a certain company and they appeared in the top 10 or top 5 search results, that might also flag something where you might increase your bid by 10%. The idea of this is new, and bringing it together and automating it is very exciting. At gShift, we do offer daily, weekly, or monthly ranking. The advantages of daily ranking obviously are around all these changes that are happening with Panda and Penguin, which I'll get into very shortly. And search ranks are going up and down on a daily basis. And if you had automated ranking data attached to your PPC, this is where you could take advantage of any daily fluctuations. This screenshot here is just an example of an event such as Search Engine Strategies Toronto, in which case we may have been ranking for a short period of time, such as 1 or 2 weeks during this time period for our blog and our press release, and we took advantage of understanding that we were ranking during that time. The Discovery Index is really what we think of as understanding new keyword phrases, unique ones. So unique keyword phrases that are being used, your website's being found organically, and you can find out as well, are those phrases converting? Well, if they are, wouldn't you want to take that feed and move it into your PPC, into your campaign, search marketing campaign, and then start bidding on them? Obviously, if they're working, we need to really understand the transition of data from the analytics and the organic side of things and move that over to the search marketing people. I was asked to discuss briefly just some search engine algorithm changes that have happened. And what I defined to the audience was it's just a new normal. We have to understand that Google's in the business of providing great search engine results, and they're going to change their algorithm in order to provide their customers, you and I, when we're doing a search, with awesome results. So what they're trying to do is just obviously engineer this properly. So we're predicting about 400 plus changes this year in 2012. The cool part about Bing is that they've been making some interesting strategic changes as well, and in implementing social data into their system. The other cool part too is that Bing just signed a deal with Yelp to start powering their local business pages. So we look forward to seeing that in the near future. So Panda and Penguin, we can talk about this for half an hour to an hour, but I provided a synopsis of what really was happening. There's a couple of quotes that I took here from the Google blog, and I just wanted to go over them. We're turning off a method of link analysis that we used for several years. This is very interesting. What that means was backlinks may not be understated, but they're definitely being moved or dialed down a little bit. They're not as prominent as they used to be. We will get more into Penguin in a minute, but basically Penguin was around the anchor text and diversity around anchor text as well. So a lot of people have been purchasing or building backlinks just to, let's say, your home page with one keyword phrase in the anchor text. Well, Google will determine that as not being too relevant. So the idea is you must build backlinks to multiple different pages on your website, and they should have some diversity, not just the same keyword phrase inside that anchor text. Data refresh basically was the removal of stale data. So during that period of time, somewhere in the February-March timeframe, you may have seen a drop in your index pages. Those are probably pages that may have not changed in a long time. Therefore, you should really understand, is that page relevant? And it did drop. You may want to go back and try to do some changes to that particular page so that it does stay in the index and it is considered fresh content. Google started using the word ranking signals in late 2011. Ranking signals are really something around what we call social signals. So that would be an example, easy example would be a tweet that contained a URL that linked to your web page. That would be considered one signal. Google's looking at these signals now as the use of how relevant that piece of content is. So if there was 2 blog posts and one had 10,000 signals, then the other had 1,000 signals, the blog post with 10,000 signals would more than likely rank in Google's mind number 1, and the other blog post would rank number 2. So we need to understand the concept of how a blog is socialized or a web page and its relevance with the Google search engine algorithm. Another change that happened with Panda was local search results. They started taking into effect more traditional search engine algorithm ranking factors. It wasn't just reviews anymore or how well you set the local page up. I mean, obviously that was the beginning when people were really just trying to get a local page set up. So those were easy factors to consider. Now that everybody is in there, Google has to make some changes, and they're obviously applying the same mathematical algorithms that they did for a web page to the local search results. And also with Penguin, there was this goodbye to backlink farms. So they understood what people were doing, which was buying some backlinks. These websites, or what we call farms, were in existence basically just to spam Google, and Google saw that and deleted those from their index, and those backlinks are not being any more relevant to your website anymore. Social signals, again, as I just discussed earlier, were introduced, and we believe that they're worth about 8 to 10% of Google's and Bing's organic search algorithms. So we should take these things very seriously, and you should be socializing your content, fresh content, and developing signals on a weekly and monthly basis for your organization. These will go up over time just because Google and Bing have access to vast amounts of data, more so than even backlinks. And we believe that this percentage will increase drastically year over year. So again, social networking and social media are about relationships, and relationships prove relevance, and relevance is at the core of organic search. So it's a very interesting statement. Therefore, we believe that, again, this 8 to 10% will definitely increase year over year. I was also asked to provide, what would be some just simple metrics that a search marketer, someone that's doing paid search, what would they like to include in terms of SEO reporting if they were going to bring some of this data into their search marketing report? So what we decided at gShift was we decided about nine items very simply, again, relating back to bid management, which you should really know how these keyword phrases are actually organically ranking. It'd be very good, depending upon what keyword phrase, or if the keyword phrase is very important to you. How are they trending? Is it trending up? Is it trending down? What were the events related to the increase or decrease? You should be understanding this. Again, this unique keyword over time, which we call the discovery index, very important. Basically, this is a measurement of how your web presence is expanding over time. So obviously, if you have more unique keyword phrases and this is growing, then you've obviously increased your web presence. Backlinks, easy to do and easy to say, but I mean, you can just say, hey, I have these many backlinks and it's growing, or these linking domains and the quality of them, that's wonderful. What we like to look at too is just the velocity of how many you're adding on a monthly basis. That obviously has a positive signal to Google, and we like to understand that. And obviously we always want to understand what our competitors are doing. Index pages, simple metric, but you should really understand it. Obviously, the more pages in Google, the better opportunity you have to rank for more keyword phrases. Obviously, if there's a major drop, then you have a technical issue with your content management system, or a web designer may have made some changes, and you should be very aware of it. So this is a metric you should be looking at least on a weekly basis, if not for sure on a monthly basis. Social signals, measuring these on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis is very important. Obviously, we will need to grow them. These will definitely become more important than backlinks over time. Organic search conversions. This would send some good signals to me if I was doing my search marketing or PPC bid management for a client, which keyword phrases are converting organically. And you should also be aware of how they're ranking and then bid appropriately for that phrase. Organic market share and/or reach can be easily calculated based on some known inputs, which are, what are my keyword phrases? Getting the search volumes from Google. What are my search volumes for those phrases? How am I ranked? And then based on how I'm ranked, there's been a few studies done lately on click-through rates based on if you're number 1, if you're number 2, if you're below the fold after number 5, if you've dropped off top 10 and you're in the 10 to 20 on the page 2. There are click-through rate estimations, in which case you could calculate out your market share based on search volume, and/or what your reach could possibly be, which would be if you were number 1 for all of your phrases. You could then easily understand the gap between the two. A lot of people report organic search rankings, and they include branded keyword phrases. We should be very aware of this, and you should break out branded as a group and look at branded versus non-branded visibility. It's obviously very easy to rank for a branded keyword phrase. It takes a little bit more effort for the non-branded phrases. Report on them separately, and it'll be better for your client to talk how well you're doing and how you're expanding their web presence. Again, my name is Chris Adams. I'm the co-founder and Chief Technology Officer of gShift Labs. Please follow us at gShift Labs. And again, please look at the Acquisio Summit hashtag, which was ACQ Summit. There was a lot of valuable tweeting and valuable PPC search marketing tips, along with some SEO. Thank you very much.